of what is Sister City and why is it important to you. So let me get back to this one. Forgive me, moving around. Sort of sharing our core values and what does it mean. So what do you value in our organization and what does Sister City mean to you? And then we can write down some keywords. If you guys want to move and group and come together, we can be flexible, but there's paper and you can kind of just share, some of the keywords or important that you feel is important to you. Maybe citizen diplomacy, collaboration, any words that come to mind. We can either do it as a group or we were going to do it in mini groups.
I'm happy to like write the notes on there if you want to just like have people just yell about.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm going to pass this. I think you don't mind.
I think in the smaller groups, I think do a real brainstorming and then we can share the whole group. I think we can all hear each other. Yeah. Right.
Why is he important? Oh, I feel like they.
It's up to you. I'm just thinking.
I think that was. No, but it is there now. hey, if you're gonna text them, Dennis is like, no, don't text. Oh, you don't say, where are you? Oh, no, no, no. I have to put this away. No, I say hurry on. They were waiting. They were waiting.
You're so diplomatic today. Yeah. Take it off.
But we have long.
Oh, yeah, we can go.
Yeah, let's move it over to discussion groups. Or Dr. Mike is just saying that.
I'm wondering, we should put that in traffic.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Because like,
Is it live on YouTube?
yeah, we're doing a live on YouTube. Instead of,
No, we have a strong relationship. And we lost, around 2000. And that happened. It was infernal. Water. Actually.
How are you? They can be you.
Yeah. We don't like this professional. We want them to be just sitting, talking to each other.
Yeah.
So, they did not appreciate the value of this.
Yeah, because since I joined Sims, I have a disconnect. I don't really get involved.
So just so we do this, so guess what I made.
Hey, yeah.
Rather than different.
Very
honest.
Yeah, that would be good stuff because when we visited Taichung city government, there's a vice mayor, spend 4 days. And,
We are.
there's a, because then, well, what is it? Yeah, I was, you guys told them that I'm going to see them. Then, but then John does have a good relationship.
Right.
That was just like, yeah.
There it is. I don't know if there is. It just, it was, they had other.
Put us on a lower part.
They had a lot of priority. Now. But the mayor. They want. So it's a partnership with IAD.
The IB International Affairs Board.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm glad you're here. Is it just, what about,
Yeah.
Hey.
let you guys finish so before you go. Yeah. Thank you for everything. I don't know where everybody is. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, right here, right here. Yeah.
And so as a board, we formed outside.
Yeah.
Through
IAD.
yeah, we were
We're pretty much about that.
that's right.
That's what I was looking at. And I'm so excited.
So that's going back to, we have this aspiration, but COVID held us back. And now.
Come back.
And so I also fascinated about. Sisters.
So, partner with that particular. And that member attended all the events. Yeah.
We were gonna let's do it now. That is the purpose of it. But the only thing I'm speaking
Yeah, communication has to be a two-way. Okay, let's do it that way.
That's fine. That's just really.
You need to sign in. Please put a name change. My name, please. Thank you.
All right.
Maybe within your partnership. There are people, you know, that the program goes
Yeah.
The other thing that's happening is, so we started with the and we have the vice chair is there. County partner. So our initial. We did not want. They wanted us to do our little. We don't want to outside.
They're gonna get ready to leave. I was thinking Dan could share and then they can, the. I just want to bother you. I just don't want to do something without you. Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Well, maybe because we
No, there's a here.
I'm having names.
That's gonna happen in your city.
We're really grateful that our friendship city, our colleagues from our friendship city from Ukraine came. So we're gonna give them just a couple minutes to kind of share what they're planning for 2024 and some of the programs. Each society will do.
Taras Simbolisi and myself, Igor Levin, we represent Ivano-Frankivsk, that's a city in Ukraine. And as you all know, the war is broken down in Ukraine since February 2022, and the people fighting there for their life and freedom. We as a candidate to the sister city, we try to help them during the last year winter time when the infrastructure was completely leveled and bombarded. We tried to help them with send the equipment there and try to send them bulletproof vests and any type of humanitarian aid. Well, in 2024, what we were hoping, we were hoping that the war would end somewhere in December of this year, but unfortunately, it's probably moving into 2024. So we're hoping if and when war will end, and again, we all can hope, but everything will be decided in the battlefield. It's not going to be even a political decision, in my opinion. It's going to be decided in battlefield. Ukrainian people are not willing to give any land, even though there's many approaches that will just give Russians a little bit of land and this is go away. No, the entire appetite of Russia will not satisfy until they eat Ukraine, and then they're going to go into the Baltic states and Poland and all Europe. He is the president of Russian Federation acting like I don't want to compare, but it's like 1939 Hitler times. So we'll have to unite. We'll have to be united, and we have to stand. And lots of countries, and the United States, one of the biggest donors, setting up to Ukraine about $113 billion so far. All collectively, Europe sent about $85.1 billion so far. But the war is still going. So again, going back to our goals. Well, originally we want to promote educational, cultural, business, and other stuff. But as we all know right now, as war going, we have to concentrate on the humanitarian aid. So once the war ends, hopefully it ends soon, we're gonna our goal to connect the businesses to start rebuilding Ukraine. So that's pretty much in a short version and a big picture. Of course, we can go into details. A lot of countries, as I mentioned, a lot of countries are helping, and our neighboring countries, Poland and Baltic countries and Germany and France. I don't want to, and the region, actually Scandinavian, the whole Scandinavian region countries helping a lot. They even doing more than some of the bigger donors. And Great Britain. I don't want to forget any countries which helping and promoting the peace and helping Ukraine to win this war for their freedom. That's pretty much it. Thank you, guys. Do you have questions?
Can you name, identify the city in Ukraine that you're focusing on?
I start with it's Ivano-Frankivsk. There's no one city. We represent Ivano-Frankivsk, but there's a lot of cities in Ukraine: Odessa, and Dnipro, and Kharkiv, and Donetsk is still under occupation, and Crimea. All those cities, excuse me, and regions will be addressed because all the country needs to be rebuilt. Russian bombs can reach within any region of Ukraine. They bomb Odessa and they bomb Lviv, and they bomb deliberately leveling Kharkiv, and on and on and on. And you all know what they did in Mariupol. Just couple cities, and I'm not mentioning European in Bucha, which the whole world find out how they operate, the Russians. I mean.
So right now you're focusing on the country, and eventually you're going to select a sister city partner.
No, we already selected Ivano-Frankivsk.
It's the city. It's in the southern western portion of Ukraine.
Northwest.
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 Definitely, they're already one of our friendships.
It's already approved.
Okay.
Does anyone else have any questions while they're here?
Thanks for your question. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. Thank you, guys.
How much time do you have? Oh, you're here. Okay, good. Then we'll wait. Okay, Gian, did you want to share some of the thoughts about?
Yes, sorry, we remind everybody to sign in because I didn't get the notes.
Okay.
Sorry, before you go, sorry.
Did you want time?
Oh, I just.
It's for
Okay.
you can use it. You can use it.
No, I can write. It's the same thing.
So we're back. So I think we were gonna go over why is it important? Why is Sister City important? So John, you wanna keep notes? Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. I know your group had a couple maybe thoughts of the importance of Sister City.
Yeah, well, just what,
Okay.
right.
Sorry, Daniel. Okay. I can do it. It can go back here.
Oh, you know what it is?
It has, looks like it was.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Jen,
Okay.
sorry.
So, our group, what are we, the Pacific something or other? With Asian Pacific.
Yeah.
Our one was, we have three that we got to. First one was partnership. And under partnerships, we had, and this one was mine, but that's because it's in my group, but partnerships with the indigenous of our group, the business community, personal, the educational partnerships that we have, and also the one that was coming up for with Perth was the smart cities, and that took us to our next item, and that's that we're also important, even though SanDISCA is more the smart cities piece. We then become a conduit for some of these other programs. So we can be a conduit for our sister city in other areas that, yeah, so conduit, and that would be more business to business. And then also, of course, diplomacy. In diplomacy, yeah, just working with the governments that we work with. Yes, and you can where's good and the governments a lot of the time we're working with government and the possibility of also having group collaboration within the community. Don't be brave about it.
Yeah, those are great. Does that, did you guys want to add anything, your group, Penelope? Sure.
Things that we are based on, and one of them is camaraderie. Camaraderie between us, right? Yeah. Sharing, which to me is very important. And I love to see your faces. I do not love Zoom. I see people here tonight that have been on Zoom, and I would say, who are you? To promote global understanding.
Global understanding.
Citizens that we in City Falls of us. And I think it's really important, I think, with cultural and shares of the city. The people who are responsible for the economic development of the city. And then we can see that we might more have in common with our collaborators. That is, for example, we are a tourism-based city, and so is a tremendous university. We have tremendous universities in the United States. As a matter of fact, we're going to try to start working on a connection between the University of Alcala's medical program and the University of San Diego's medical program, because they are both top-notch, world-ranked hospitals, research facilities. So that is for the future. And my contribution was that we share history, tremendous history between San Diego and Alcala. Spain came in, did this area, began all the way from San Diego, which was the first mission up to San Francisco. Missions, the Spanish language was established here. And then you just have to drive around San Diego, in our name, San Diego, to see the Spanish language influence. It's everywhere. The architecture in Balboa Park is based on Spanish Renaissance architecture. So that shared history. We sponsor Miguel de Cervantes, who wrote Don Quixote. We have in Balboa Park each spring a festival to honor him, and we read the Quixote. Why is that important? Well, number one, important is it's the first modern novel ever. Okay, most read, most translated. But you think about a little kid from wherever here in San Diego, whose parents and grandparents speak Spanish. getting up in Balboa Park, this makes me with their little passage and read from the keyboard. I think that is a tremendous experience for that child and for all of us, for the community in San Diego. So the shared history is really important. That's
Thank
it.
you for your wonderful event you just did. I
Oh,
heard you had a great turnout. In
Wonderful.
partnership with the,
we
House of
partnered with the
Mexico.
House of Mexico because Mexico, and I'm about to go to Guanajuato, has the biggest Cervantes festival in the world.
Oh, you've been invited?
I have been invited. It's the 25th through the 30th because we sent all sorts of material down there advertising this in our partnership with the House of Mexico.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
do
it's
you
great.
want to share one thing that you're planning for next year? Is
May,
the Cervantes Festival?
it will be the Cervantes Festival, a trip to Alcalá.
I was like, I want to make sure this is being
Hello?
recorded.
A trip to Alcalá to get to know the new mayor. We have a conservative woman mayor when we're just getting rid of a very liberal socialist mayor. So that's going to be something to process, but I do need to meet her. Of course, we will go probably as a committee and meet her and her council. Yeah, you're welcome.
El Camilo, do you want to share about Portugal?
Yes, yeah. First of all, I think our experience in our road to the point where we are right now, it's been a lot with the assistance in the corporation, and the backing of SanDISCA over here. I think this organization really helped us to become the friendship city, which I thought it went really well and extremely fast. I mean, we didn't even dream that it was going to be that smooth. And initially, when we came up with the idea of Portland and San Diego, it was not really based on my experience or my. I came from the Azores Islands. In the group, the majority of the people that are Portuguese that live in the community come from the Azores or Madeira Islands. But we looked at those archipelagos, and there were probably 1/3, or not even of a small percentage compared to any city compared to San Diego. So we picked Porto. We started by looking at it from an educational side, universities that exist in Porto, university that exists here. And there was tremendous help where Dr. Ricardo Vasconcelos, who's the director of Portuguese and Spanish Studies at San Diego State University, is from Porto. So he had a little bit of an interest there. He had already the exchange program in place with Porto. So that made it really easy to pick that one. And then we reached out to the pharmaceutical department of UCSD, comparisons to University of Porto, the University of Medicine of Porto. Then we looked at the tourism side. Portugal right now is the modern place to visit in Europe. It's probably because of the money that goes a little bit further in Portugal than a lot of other places in Europe. And I think Portugal is a friendly country that welcomes it. There's a lot of history in Portugal that can be, of course, San Diego is a very young city. So as far as long, deep history, there's some similarities, but not to the, for example, the city of Alcalá, but there's connections there. Culturally, we thought also there's a lot of good opportunities, but really, the only way that sister cities are going to work between Porto and SanDISCA if we get the business aspect to work in interests in Porto and interests in San Diego. That's really what's going to help the foundation of the sister city organization to reform, where I can move on, Lynette can move on, and there will be somebody else to continue the thing. I admire your work, and what you do, but really, what happens if she says, "Oh, no, I don't want it anymore"? We want to. Yeah, we have to have continuation. That's really important. I was pleased to take this past summer a letter from Mayor Todd Gloria to the mayor of Portland. He has deep connections already here with the city, with two friends, and that was very surprising. So we're on the right path, and but picking areas of interest and focusing, and also let me just suggest, and I think I brought this already forward to SanDISCA. I know Jessica knows about this, and I guess the city of Marseille can experience the same thing, is that in Europe especially, and I would venture to say the majority of the other countries around the world, the sister city or the friendship cities, they develop at a municipality level. They don't have the luxury of having organizations such as SanDISCA or the IAB to take the process of it. So whenever something is working, like for example, let me use this example. We have something here that is going to work. I want to be positive about that. I think it's time for the city of San Diego to recognize the level that we are at, and a document of some sort is developed. And I know it takes work maybe with Javier and Andrew to come up with something that it works, run it by AB, but there's got to be that development. And I can go back, and one of my initial impacts on this was the frustration of Marseille. Say the mayor, is excited, but he wants something from this mayor over here. So let me leave that challenge on the floor, that we develop that type of connection and the type of understanding with our municipality, with the municipality over there. And then, of course, the governments over there are very party oriented. So, so expect, if it's working well with this, for example, the mayor of Porto right now works really well in making this happen. We shouldn't lose the opportunity. And I think it's important that again that some sort of documentation is put in place to establish that function. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Ramiro. We're so happy that you're here. And also, I just want to commend the process that they went through. They went through about a year process of bringing the community together, bringing leaders together, stakeholders together in both cities to decide where to do the relationship and how to build it. So I know you went through a very extensive process to pick Porto as the partnership. So that I think was a lot of development work that you did. I know with Dr. Michael McClary really helped guide that process, but I'm grateful to see the success, and I think it is because you put in a lot of that development work. And then also, we were so happy to be with you during the Portuguese festival. It was the festival that we had. I mean, it's just amazing the work that you're doing with the community. And then we've notated the challenges, right, between connecting mayors. And we're happy Mayor Gloria brought a letter to, had you bring the letter. He's now with the new International Affairs Department, now we have Andrew and Javier. So they are responding faster. I think we saw it with Perth, and we're starting to see that they're responding faster. We're now having monthly meetings with the city, which is great. We did bring that issue up as well. So to make sure that there's a response. Essentially, Friendship Cities, they would communicate with us through SanDISCA. So once you get a letter, then we would handle the development side. Because the city doesn't have the capacity to do the development. And I think really that's the strength of SanDISCA as a nonprofit, and that's the strength of our organization. Because when you have, you have delegates coming from Porto or Perth, or it's sister cities who greets them. It's sister cities. It's all of you that are actually doing the development work on behalf of the city for the mayor. So that's really our strength and our asset that we have for the city. So also know that SanDISCA is here to help with that development when the city can't be there, or when the International Affairs Department is just too busy. So anyways, I'm just grateful for you because you've done a lot of work in a short amount of time. And I know you just came back from the area, so I hope you had a beautiful trip and look forward to hearing about the trip. And hopefully we'll all get to go to Porto one day. Yeah.
And then, and one thing that we try to focus is big people on the community that are strong in the areas that we want to move into, and that's another.
That's very smart.
Yeah,
And through our conversation, and I also shout out to Dr. McCurry for his leadership. We talked about maybe an acronym like what makes the heart beat. So beat would be business, education, arts, and technology.
Hold on, let me write it down. So can you say that again, please?
And worldwide.
Yeah.
Business, art,
Art and technology. No, but you have to write it as beat.
It has to be beat.
AT, to make your heart beat. So business, education, art. and technology.
And from that, that's something that could be expanded to not only the other Friendship Cities, but the other sister cities as well.
Yeah, it's a good visual and it has an emotional tie.
So how, yeah, it's like, so how's it going? Yeah, how's it going? But I like it too, because in the conversations we have, board meetings, how's the party going? And if I only can answer to E and the E, that means we need to focus on it, because that means that heart needs a little bit of help. And it doesn't have to be monumental, it means that it has to be feeding. And so it doesn't have to be that we're changing something long-term, but is there something going on? What is the status right now with the technology? What's the, I think it's a brilliant. I could speak to about dairy. Is the time to do that now?
Well, I think there's more people coming for Dairy.
Are they coming?
I don't know. People are RSVP'd. I don't know where they are. I'm very grateful they're here. I think there was some that RSVP'd. Yeah, because you have takeover. Yeah. He said he was coming.
I could just speak quickly to you that the movement towards and the energies from citizens in San Diego are interested in making a connection with dairy in Northern Ireland. But what's unique about it, actually, and share us out here, what's unique about it is it's a partnership with Northern Ireland, but also with the Republic of Ireland. So what it would be a connection between dairy and Letterkenny in the Republic. So it's actually going to be sort of a county-wide, the county of San Diego twinning with the county of this north part of Ireland. And it was a radical idea that, like, I don't know, as you were saying, that usually everything is sort of municipal. So it's a bunch of people just called up and said, we think this is a good idea. And it sat for a while, but it took Dr. Mike to actually go to Ireland for the Irish to actually understand what we intended. And that broke the ice. And now they are now moving forward. They understand what we're doing because of this idea. They're not committed to you. What we're saying is that no, talk with us because we are the conduit. We get through them. We'll have this mayor, and then there's the opportunity for us to really expand and what it's like to be at on a border city and how we connect with Tijuana in the same way that Derry connects on a daily basis with Letterkenny on the Republic. It is the future, and so it's something that we're looking forward to. There's going to be more, as one of the delegates who came will speak when they come. But I just wanted to add that too because it's very exciting. Right.
When he acknowledges that's very smart process. In the city, it do not happen. The problem here is the communication aspect. And just making sure that they understand that that process and accept that process. Right. So
We are here to be, we're here to be the conduit. And so that's important to let you know that if there's more that you need, we'll do all we can. As Jessica said, that we're meeting regularly with the mayor's office and making sure that they are up to date about what the process is and what's happening. So, okay, thank you.
Sorry, I'm moving.
Yolanda, do you want to do update?
You were really doing core values, but I think the values are coming out in the personal work.
Yeah.
But we were talking about like, why are we here? Why is peace important? I do have our mission. Essentially, this was the mission that we currently have on our website that we should kind of review. I know we won't get to finalize it today. But SanDISCA mission is the umbrella organization is to enhance the visibility, effectiveness, efficiency, and sustainability of the city of San Diego's sister cities. I put friendship cities also, we can discuss that. But our mission is to guide the development of proposed sister city relationships, thereby bolstering their mission in the areas of culture, education, economic. It sounds like we're finding other ways as well, humanitarian. So again, this is sort of a draft, but we can discuss what areas we're working in. An overarching aim is to promote peace through mutual respect, understanding, and cooperation. One individual and one community at a time. So I think we need to look at this and is this still relevant? Is there something that has to be added? So that's sort of what we wanted to do is like, what is it? I love the beat though. I think that was beautiful. Business, art, you know, like education, technology, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
But I think we also have, you know, humanitarian efforts, as we heard today with Ukraine. So there might be some other things. So maybe we can discuss amongst ourselves, what is our programs? What are our services? Do we need to update this? And why is it important? Yeah, I think humanitarian.
Every society is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the humanitarian aspect is, I believe, very important at this point.
Right.
Because we've got this, very friends who are addressing this issue. And I just wanted to tell you that probably everybody knows that Poland accepted originally about 6 million Ukrainians. They crossed the border. Right now, maybe about 2 million still stay, and some went back, some went to another country. But the fact was that from day one, Poland was the country that was really, without any hesitation, really what was actually the governmental part was really meaningful. But it was a grassroots, really very, very classic grassroots operation where as Ukrainians were treated basically like an extended family, and they were immediately absorbed by you know, all my friends from sister cities in Poland, in Warsaw, literally all of them had some contribution. They were going to the border, bringing those refugees. Sometimes they were really exhausted, tired, completely, really, almost half dead, and on them they were brought to the safe places and being taken, were absolutely, phenomenal help. So we actually, as a sister city, we kind of had a co-production of a movie. Actually, it is like almost full size movie documenting basically that help that was offered to Ukrainians, and we have, so that is now completed. It's getting a little bit shortened, so it can be presented at festivals. And actually, I had the honor to actually write a song that was really at the end, and the title of the song was "When Freedom Rings," and basically showing that everything is about freedom. That if, let's say, country wants to be free and wants to decide on their own future, nothing can stop it. When freedom rings, it's louder than the sirens, the war sirens. So that's a really quite strong statement in this movie. So it is actually very nice thing that Sister City is now focused. I mean, on both sides. From San Diego, we're sending all kinds of help, primarily money to those places in Poland who were taking care of Ukrainians, but also our partners in Warsaw and different other places were helping that on a really major scale.
It's amazing testimony of our sister cities.
Yes.
We're so excited to see the film. I also heard freedom.
Yes.
And I really heard.
Yeah.
That's also a good one, because it's that bottom up power that we have, bottom of the great, we will, we're the sustainable, we're the best. The mayors come and go, we'll always be here.
Yes.
And I think that's the key. Regardless of who we are right now, the power of sister cities is that it's greater than, and Don, you've been talking about this, the sustainability piece, there's always going to be somebody who's going to come up, and we develop that as we continue. It's going to be part of how we move forward, because we're doing some very special things, but we can't do it all on ourselves. We have to be able to do it together as a community. So, yeah.
Community service around. Community service and global connection.
The community service, can I say something about that? Because I want to put in a good word for student volunteers. The event we just sponsored in Balboa Park, which was in partnership with the House of Mexico, we honored Don Quixote. We had 11 students from San Diego High School, Patrick Henry High School, and El Capitan High School. If it were not for those students, we would have never. We're too old. They were wonderful, and the setup during the event, they were friendly and kind to people. They were laughing, they were dancing, and then when it was over, we had that place cleared out and sparkling clean in an hour, thanks to students. And this is their community service.
Students and volunteers, I heard are key. Can you share maybe how did you get the volunteers? And
Oh yeah, go big.
how
Yeah.
did you get volunteers? There might be a
I beg. Cheryl Gillette, I got to know her, and the Spanish student ambassador at San Diego High School.
I think she's coming in right now.
Is that Cheryl?
We're talking about it.
Really good what I was saying about you and Lola, who is the student ambassador to Spain. She rounded up these students for me. Our treasurer for San Diego Alcala, Sharmila, daughter goes to Patrick Henry High School, so she rounded up some of her friends, and I had gone over to El Capitan to speak with them about sister cities. and I had a couple of people from over there. So it's just making connections, which we all know is really important for everything. Yeah. Okay.
Anyone else want to share how they get volunteers or how do you think that that's the big thing? How do you get volunteers? You know, that sometimes.
Have a lot of volunteers, student volunteers from yeah, there because of the education, remember the digitalization of education for refugees during the COVID. So I have a very, good connection with students.
And they did an online program, right?
Yeah, they did an online for students.
Do you want to
for
share with
refugees.
everyone? Maybe they're not aware of that program.
Yeah, during the COVID, one of the students from one of the universities in Tijuana, she's a refugee children advocate. So she started this volunteer program and she invited her, classmates to participate. And they participated in two programs. One was a school bus program, which is actually very famous. It's on YouTube. You can just Google it and watch it. They used a school bus and they went around the neighborhoods and picked up the kids and they taught them in the bus. And the other one was that they implemented their own curriculum at the refugee centers in the 2 years of COVID pandemic. So yeah, there are a lot of student volunteers, working with refugee kids right now in TJ. That's my connection.
The student volunteers, I just can't really say enough about how wonderful they are, how helpful they are, how friendly, how they love to laugh and have fun, but they're right on when you need them. Hey, could you help? They're right there.
You know about Stephen Pickle and the organization that the dance thon is doing, but it's part of Rotary, but it's also involving sister cities.
No.
So there is on Saturday, October 14th, there is a dance-a-thon, and so high school students from all over San Diego are invited.
Oh,
and
I love that.
And it's going to be an international event where there's Japanese dancers, there's Chinese dancers, there's I forget the whole series of different dancers, and inviting the general public high school to have fun by
Just to come and do regular dance.
Okay. Here's a flyer about it. It's fun event.
Oh, yeah,
It's an anti-bullying campaign.
I'll get that out for sure. Thank you.
It'll be
another opportunity.
Thank you.
Connecting with a high school or a university is another way to get students engaged. And students have amazing ideas.
Yeah, they do.
And energy.
And so much energy, and they're strong and young. I mean,
So they're really the leaders of, our future. So really doing the work is important. And
It
that's
is
how we
important.
continue, as Ildemiro shared, how do we think of generational? How do we think of handing it on to the next generation? So engaging the youth has been amazing. And of course, it's a requirement for college admission. They want to satisfy the requirement for college admission.
oh, the community service, yes.
Jessica, one of the things that good for every city is find a school that becomes your school and then you introduce that school to a school in your sister city. And, you know, you begin the exchange program and, you can go and visit one another. And if you can't visit one another, we've all learned how we can get together on Zoom. But find a sister city, a school for your sister city, so that each one of you has your own school.
And I think that that's something that, you know, we want to speak to that.
Yeah, I actually do want to speak to that. I think as a student, currently senior now, I've been in high school for almost 4 years now. That's crazy to say that. I think my reflection upon that is that I think for a lot of us in San Diego, right, students have a wide variety of interests, whether it's in biotech, engineering, many literature, right? I think ultimately what's really effective towards engaging these new groups is creating opportunities for them to combine their kind of academic interest with a kind of global public service initiative. That's kind of what I did with Jessica at the leadership last year, you know, combining my interest in environmental studies and sociology and race ethnicity to cut my own research project in Kenya as part of the trip. So I think that can be a really effective way of outreaching and engaging when you have a tie-in. Let's say I really care about robotics, then creating kind of like introducing this kind of exchange program, saying, you know, let's work on creating a robotics project as part of the exchange program for Alcala, right? That's how you can establish, you know, year-over-year consistent project, and that's as far as.
And let me add that this is also the kids, is that the kids want to know what's going on. And so if Mission Bay is doing something, but the kid goes to San Diego High School or Grossmont, and they really want to get involved, that we could serve as that conduit and say, hey, would Mission Bay, would they appreciate having one more person helping out? The answer is yes.
Reflecting upon that, I think actually back in 10th grade when I first joined SanDISCA student, I think one of the things I saw that I wanted to do that just haven't actually gotten a chance over all these years was to have like sister city clubs at our school basis. I saw that as a sense that some students will want to get involved in a specific sister city, perhaps based on their own identity, their own family history, right? Perhaps the language course they're taking at school. So I always my thought was that if we had a sister city club at every school that can connect these students to the opportunity, it would not only, you know, enable each of the society to have a foothold in various schools, but it would also provide students with a wider range of opportunities rather than limiting them to one person society. So that's kind of how I saw it, and even though, you know, I'm going to graduate soon, we have other student interns who I really hope will fulfill my place, and obviously I think there's lots of opportunities.
It does work. So we had Elizabeth was on the board for Semagana just this last year. Lola coming up with Alcala, and I've been tasked with finding two different sister city sites in today's meetings by the students who want to connect those cities.
Yeah.
And Cheryl, you run a club, right? A Sister Cities Club. Do you want to speak about the club? I think it would be great for everyone to know.
Sorry to interrupt. In the name of community service, I think we'll have this conversation, but I think let's do this during lunch. Would everybody agree to that? And when we continue the conversation about the game. So everybody good with that? Okay. So as the food is ready, it is here.
Today we have food from Flavors of East Africa. So it's Kenyan food. We also have some tea and some breakfast that come from Somalia.
I don't think I'm trying to leave. I was trying every day. Oh my God. It's harder. It's harder. It's hard. I'm average. In the heart of it. No, if I get it, it'll be I will try every day. I will be solving.
Oh, yeah.
Just do pen when you're ready and you can set it up. Like it's the directing game. Whichever way, Janet, if you need help, just tell me. We don't use that. Yeah. I can't. We lose money. We don't take nothing. We use a lot of money if you're making with that. People charge us processing fee. I use either SanDISCA. I don't do, but either one SanDISCA. I have that. It's not just animal. That's great.
That is,
I don't, I'm sure she can. Oh. Yeah, yeah, like cash to that end. They have one. They have another piece of Diego-Yokohama. They can read a county shop computer. They want to too, okay? Oh, yes, absolutely, yeah. In fact, there's some. Yes. Yeah. Honor that I want to connect ours. Yeah, right now, yeah, but my principal now is, I may. No. Oh, okay.
So the big part of it right now that I'm trying to finish is we upload information. That way it doesn't. So like when you rid of it, you're going to that, you can upload pictures, you can set up team purposes too. If you really have to.
I'm very.
Well, the so I think probably. And then, there, we have the report.
Oh. Yeah.
Let's get to talk about. Quick update on. Let me do the quick update, then I can work.
No, I have it. I got you and oh. I'm glad.
How are they really available? So I'm gonna just yeah, but that's just great.
One, the understanding. This was the first in-person. They're right by UTC. They have a lot of commercial students. So we're there, and
Yeah, my average where I just run like.
Yeah, honestly, I'm the best. Get them hired.
How are you doing? Recording and.
Yeah. So, we're trying to do. So, I mean, if anything.
Okay, I didn't touch it. I think I've got it. I do that with my- What I think.
So next, you want to speak?
I'm always ready. Want to pull it out?
In October,
We have one in September.
UNA is in October. What's in September? That's
We have Human Rights Day in November.
okay. So those are two things that are.
Human Day is a big day that we used to make money on.
That's the one, you sent an email out with two things on it.
Yeah.
That's one. Yeah.
We gotta take notes over here.
I was trying to get the people to know what.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
This one is. This is the one meeting on there.
I'm really grateful that all of you are here, and I know new friends who just joined, so we want to welcome everybody, and we're very grateful. We're moving into our second section. That includes all of our sister cities and friendship cities. We're really grateful that all of you are here. We hope you're enjoying the food. This is amazing. This is from Flavors of East Africa. It's Kenyan food. So there you have a restaurant in North Park. And so we hope that you enjoy the food. And we also have a friendship city between Amboseli, Kenya, and San Diego. So we wanted you to share a little bit of the food. And I also want to thank San Diego-Yokohama also for helping to sponsor the food today. So thank you for your support, and the same thing for the lady. So while they're eating, Stephen is going to share he's been working diligently on a new website that we're launching. So we want to share that with the group. No, just enjoy. It's okay.
Oh, there we go. Oh, no. All right, so this is our homepage, so of the new website that we have. We set up placeholder items here. So we have our opening banner, about us. And then,
Even would you speak louder, please?
sure. I'm sorry, guys. So this will be our new homepage here that we have. And we'll have little slides here. Of our 16 sister cities, our map.
These will all be clickable as well, so when you click, it goes to your page.
So it scrolls vertically and horizontally.
Here is an example of a campaign page layout for any kind of donation-driven programs that we have. Sorry, guys, it's loading slow.
The internet's a little slow. But this is from Mission Bay, jazz band, who goes to Yokohama. But essentially, we can create a campaign for any campaign that you have or any fundraising needs that you have. It will be on our website.
And the fundraising link will be on that site as well, so the individual.
This is okay. I mean, it's kind of standard stuff that you expect for a regular homepage. And newsletter. And
What about the old photos? Can you show some of the old photos?
I don't have it on.
You don't have it.
Gotta migrate.
Yeah, like from all of your reports, your annual reports, we have the photos, so we'll make sure to add those photos that you submitted online.
Yeah, but it was already there on the website from previous years.
Yeah, we have those galleries. We just have to upload them on the new site.
Yeah.
So I have to do it again?
No, you don't have to. We have it.
No, I mean, do we have to send it to you again?
No.
Oh.
Would you let us know when it's ready so we can go on and check everything?
Yeah, so one change up that we're gonna do is I'm using a new system that will allow all the members to upload information for young events.
Oh, wait, repeat that, please.
Talk about the membership.
Yeah, so the membership site is gonna allow authorized, administrators, and that'll be all our designated leaders to be able to upload information, promoting their events, and it'll automatically be added to the calendar and showcase on our pages. So here's an example of Porto. This is a base layout for your homepage. Right now,
Not fun.
still working on it. So latest news on the individual pages, it's going to just pull articles related to that organization. So here we just have that stuff.
Then I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
We just had an event and I would love to put just a little synopsis of what happened on photographs and how would I go about that?
So right now, because I haven't migrated over to the new site yet, just
So it's
send that
not
over
a
to me.
good time.
No, send that over to me. I'll post it on our site. It's fine. Yeah, and then I'll migrate over to the new site. Yes.
That's not that though, is it? This is still being worked.
This is in development phase. When do you think it'll go up, you think?
Once I get some sleep.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
I know he's been volunteering, like a lot of. Thank you for your patience while we get this done.
And here's an example of membership page here for Porto. Again, each site will have each mini site will have their own membership pages, and then I'll need to go through and review membership fees for everybody before we launch it. Just kind of do a full scale review. So I'll be planning to start one-on-one meetings with you guys as we kind of come to
So on the site, you can tell people to register to become a member. They can pay their dues here, pay their fees. There's also, I think, updates, right, annually when they have to pay again. So they'll get a reminder or they could do it automatically, so you don't have to follow up. There's also a way where you can pay your annual dues. So, and also donation. You know, so if you want donations for your society as well, there'll be a donation link to help with fundraising.
So Stephen, when you're gonna go live on this, development side?
Probably in another couple of weeks.
Okay, that's not too bad, because that's one of I'll try to resume our membership again, you know.
Yeah, by the end of the month, right?
Yeah.
October, we can guarantee.
It's been slammed the last couple of months, unfortunately. With real world work and essentially doing stuff.
It looks great. Thank you.
Yeah, look,
Yeah. No kidding that, we're great.
I'm gonna say thank you again, because Stephen started our first one 5 years ago and we had no website at all, and we did it in a weekend, like through up like that. So this is a continuation and making it better of the old one. So thank you, Stephen, twice.
I just want to build for membership, to manage membership, so that way you can update it, you won't need us to update it.
And I'm just saying, you don't have to pay.
Oh, you're online.
Well, we haven't sent this year, our membership went to SanDISCA. And then we just got the information from Yolanda, and it's, you know, I don't know what's going on, but it's like, it was almost $30 out of 320.
Yeah, we'll go over financials, and there's basically, anytime you make it convenient for them to donate online, there is a fee, right, to use that service. I think it's like 2.3% for nonprofits for any donation that's made online to handle those transaction fees. If you don't want any fees, the only way is a check. The check is the only way. Pardon me?
Well, Venmo is that.
That's right.
Yeah, there's Venmo and Zelle is also, they don't take a fee. I don't believe that.
But if it went into SanDISCA,
Yeah,
they wouldn't get a fee, would they? Because
Even a nonprofit has admin fee, there's a processing fee to process credit cards.
Pretty much any not.
Yeah, but then it makes it easier to give, so it's like the convenience, you decide. You don't have to run to the bank and deal with checks.
But like 30 out of 320 is like 10%.
No, it shouldn't be that much, Dan, we need to look at, it should be 2.3%, I believe. I think it's 2.3%.
add up to that much,
It's down.
Which website? Every future period, someone sign up for newsletter for each of the sister states.
Yeah,
So I see
and
that this website is, traffic. I don't even have that.
right.
So would there be a feature for someone to sign up for each of the sister cities they want to share about?
Yeah, that would be ideal, and we just have to.
Getting a communications department ultimately, right? Unless you guys each have your own communications department. It's like, it's having, because we are working on volunteer hours, right? So we don't have a big communications team that could do individual communication. We're trying to do a monthly newsletter. So whatever information you saw, you might have saw the last one we did. We received information and then we put a monthly newsletter together. I think that's about our capacity at this time, but if there is a way that you guys want to make your own newsletter and you have your own mailing list, there's that option, of course. We have the technology tools, as long as you can facilitate that.
And the other thing that we are going to introduce is the shop site. We're going to probably use either Printful or a combination of Printful and Auto, and that is a print on demand program, so that we'll be able to have
That's pretty cool.
just endless supply of products without having the overhead stock.
These are some fundraising tools if you want to make t-shirts or mugs or, you know, there'll be ways to fundraise that we're developing. But that's a little, I think we'll know that later, another day. But do you mind sharing again? You track the traffic because that's good data information. Can you share?
Yes.
Yes, or no, you said that you looked up the data.
Yeah.
No, I haven't, I guess, I haven't looked at Google Analytics for probably a year, so.
I've been saying to start to you because I have my students. Well, so I'm wondering, maybe some people might check it out because they want to stay informed about maybe let's say a color or so if there's a picture for them,
That's a great idea.
sign up for the particular city they want to feel more about.
That's a great idea.
I also want to add on to that is that the cloud is paying attention. And so if there's more traffic to the site, it will pay attention to that and then it'll move it up and it becomes easier and then all of a sudden more people will see it. So the more we upload, the more that we enter the site and check it on the site and for amount of time that because they're measuring how many times we actually go to this link to this actual address, but then how much time we spend there. All those things that it's really important for our members to go to the site on a regular basis for the purpose of why would I go? Because that's where the newsletter is, that's where the events are. But we actually do that. We don't just want to put it and save the website but not go there. It has to be active in order for it to be powerful.
There's also a way to post if you need a volunteer or an intern or one share
More job opportunities, actually talking with Hannah. Go ahead.
No, just finish.
Oh, no, we created a job board too, same system, so you guys can post open opportunities for employment or just kind of announcements. These are all things that you as an user will use.
And another kudos to student volunteers. A lot of them are very tech savvy and they know how to do everything. I know how to do email. So that is good. They can help us put things up, make promotional materials that look professional instead of the stuff that I put up on the internet. So use your students if you have a core of students. They're very helpful and very smart.
I will say that almost every high school has a college career center and they have a designated personality to the college career center. If there are internship opportunities such as regarding kind of tagging skills, you can send out a kind of press release to the college career center and they will forward it to students to use the Google Classroom or whatever it is. I think I get stuff from our school, once or twice a week, so they do a pretty good job of getting out students to communicate with the school and the school they can get back to you.
Thank you.
The one thing that I kind of caution on, especially when it comes to social media stuff, Owen Miller, who has been just a shining star for our organization, he initially came to us wanting to take over our social media work. And it was great, but to me, that's busy work. And I was more interested in kind of digging deeper in him to figure out what his passions were. There's an initiative that he wanted, giving ownership to the students instead of just giving them and that's where we ended up creating the VR cards with them, which is an amazing success.
And the programming classes that he was running.
Oh, in the programming classes too. Yeah, so it is one of those things that I think is a default. We'll just let the kids handle it instead of being kind of limiting in ways. So just and DM, you had a question, sorry.
Yeah, a couple of them. And this one is silly, but we don't currently have a central thing.
I've been doing them as capacity allows.
We had one for a while.
We need an intern.
I had been sending it out every other month, but the articles are very short and not a lot of content. So I was just writing things about the holidays.
Last month.
But those are good. Yeah, I didn't get it either.
You're definitely on the list. Maybe it's going in spam. Because sometimes it does go into spam because there's a lot of images and text and so you can spam, but you're definitely in our list.
And then secondly, for the new website, it's not every sister living correction city has their own website, right? So would that then kind of maybe serve as where their
Yeah.
information?
And we could either put a subdomain on there too, so it could be either marseille.sanDISCA.org or marseille.sanDISCA.org, or we could just redirect to.
But this could operate as your website.
SanDISCA.org, you fix the same with it.
We do have San Diego SisterCities.org too, just for.
Yeah, so San Diego SisterCities.org or SanDISCA.org, either one works.
And also the other platform that we're using in the back end for donations and membership that we could transfer to. I'm gonna.
Okay.
One more thing. I think it's a good idea to ask the city chairs to check their content. The content they sent you under each sister city.
Yeah.
To be accurate.
So you guys will get to
Like populations, like years, especially with Panama, you need to edit that. Even for Tijuana, there was a wrong number for population. It needs to be updated.
We're gonna go after your annual report that was submitted, what, like 3 months ago? So that's the data that we're using.
Yes,
now.
and those are very outdated, and nobody paid attention, I guess, to that, and they didn't update it for
Yeah, it's not
themselves.
updated yet. It'll be still done.
We need to update it as.
Should we send it to the group?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one-on-one with everybody.
Oh, yeah. I missed that. I was outside. It's my own fault.
But I mean, I guess the easiest way is to like pictures and just make sure.
Yeah.
But just something that we need to remember that, because that's a good idea, remember, we want volunteers, someone can't sit there every time Panama population change, because my government.
No, but your population is from years
Yeah,
ago.
but that's.
Mine too, I have to change it too. Yeah.
Keep in mind, we want volunteers, so someone can't sit there every time Panama population changes. So, you know what I'm saying, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, but it's not just population. For example, in your case, there is a whatever center that it says I forgot. Something is going to open up in 2016. And this is 2023. It was something like that. The content needs to be.
Remember, we're just working on the list. A lot of stuff is not going to be okay.
Yeah, but it's good to be aware of.
Yeah.
Everybody's aware of it.
See it again, thank you. for all the support.
Also just want to welcome our new guests and we're grateful that you're here. Forgive us, we had to move some things around and now we actually have our quorum. So we do have a couple voting items. We only have 1 hour, to be honest, and we want to hear from all of you. Like all of your voices matter and we want to give everybody a minute to share what they're doing. So if you don't mind, we're gonna move into, we just have a couple voting items that we're gonna take care of first, just because of time. Go ahead. This is it. It's really good.
Since new people are here, I'm just gonna go over like a little bit about our nomination committee and the purpose of our board. The San Diego International Sister Cities Organization has a nomination committee to facilitate the selection on nomination of individuals who serve as representatives or leaders in various capacities with Sister Cities programs. The primary responsibilities of the nomination committee are as follows. We are responsible for identifying qualified individuals who are interested in promoting international relationships and cultural exchanges through the Sister Cities programs. We review the qualifications, experience to make sure that you're actually a member of our board, because you have to be a paid member. Once interested candidates are identified, we apply officially through an application that we have online and that we can send out to you. And I only ask that because you'll understand this. Our board of directors has 16 sister city presidents that are appointed for life unless there is a death, resignation, or change of society leadership. Each society has complete control over all membership, fundraising projects, and programs for their sister city society. But we do, as a group, help each other to build up each of our societies. Our elected 6 directors serve 3 2-year terms, and their main function is to support, advise, and participate in various sister city societies and the board of directors as a whole. The executive director is responsible for, and they are appointed to serve at the leisure of the board of directors, but they are supportive of all societies and moving forward our mission and our vision. And in the summary, the nomination committee is nominating Tim Stuyvesant as chair for the term of 2024 through 2026, Yolanda Burgess as vice chair for 2024 through 2026, and me as interim secretary for 2024. Our vacancy from W. Peterson. Currently, I'm going to go through the summarization of what we have on the board because not everybody understands. Currently, we have 4 open directors positions available, so please let me know if you have any suggestions or you'll this lady over here, Jessica. Sharmila Hall is resigning from the board because she's moving. Dr. Mike is the SCI representative. Kathleen Rich Tansey is our Southern California SCI representative. For SanDISCA, Aaron Combs is our student ambassador. But I'm not sure when we get that, but continue forever. The work director. And then, we'll just change you, whatever school you're at, we'll just make you our support. And then, so our nomination slate is the chair for Timothy Stuyvesant, vice chair Yolanda, and I am the interim secretary. So I can do the motion, make that move forward, and then we can vote on that. So Stephen, I'll make the motion. Great, thank you. Second.
Okay, on the vote. All those in favor of this, and we're gonna do all, we're doing all of them or individually? All of the slate.
Yeah.
All those in favor, say aye or raise your hand. All those opposed?
Congratulations. Thank you, John. Thank you.
Next, Dennis Michael. We have one more item that we need to vote on as well. We have an amazing opportunity, and that Dennis Michael is our liaison for the International Affairs Board. He's also our events coordinator and has done an amazing job helping us work with the IAB. We have more meetings with IAB. We have monthly meetings with the city. So thank you for your amazing work. If you want to brief everyone.
Yeah, I think everyone here is familiar with what the IAB is, but if you're not, it's the International Affairs Board. It is the International Affairs and Relations Advisory Board. Consults the mayor on international issues. So the International Affairs Board has an event that they're doing in November, on November 16th, at the public library. I've just got appointed to the IAB. So the 2 of us there. So on November 16th, they're having an event there called Celebrating San Diego's Global Identity. So what it is, the idea of it is to discuss where San Diego is currently on the international playing field, the perceptions of San Diego, what is happening in San Diego through many of our internationally or globally minded organizations, and what the future holds. So the mayor will be there. He'll be kind of introducing the idea of the event, what is behind it, and his international experiences, because he's like going to South Korea, and he's just got back from Southern California, Mexico. So definitely a lot of our cross-border relations will be discussed. There will be a panel at the event in which Jessica will be speaking on that panel, as well as a couple of other people, like the executive director for the Diplomacy Council and a couple of
Heidi.
What's that? Heidi, and who else is on
Do you have any youth members?
We have our planning committee next week. I'll mention.
They will be invited, but they will not be on. So part of the partnership grew out of not just Jessica being on the panel, but the IAB is not itself a legal entity. So the IAB approached, or at least we had the idea, since Jessica was on the panel, and that we have a very close relationship with them, with me being the liaison on both entities, and then now we have Charizard on there too, is that they needed kind of a, I don't know if this is the right term. It's kind of like a fiscal sponsor relationship. Because the IAB cannot accept funds because there's nothing to accept funds for. So it was going to be a partnership with SanDISCA. It's a bit of the legal aspect of what we have to do. So there's a partnership between there in which we're working. The IAB is working with us, Sister City SanDISCA, to have the kind of operations or the administrative stuff primarily that's financial matters or financially concerned to go through SanDISCA. Now, part of the stipulation there with SanDISCA, quote, assuming financial responsibility, is that we would not assume any debt to it. So they want us to accept payments so that we can pay our vendors for this event, particularly the caterer and some admin costs for the library. There are costs that cannot be billed to IAB because legally IAB does not exist. So they cannot receive or distribute the funds, but they needed a partner organization to do it. Couldn't do it through the city because it was way too complicated, too many red tape barriers to be able to have the city receive and distribute funds for that event. It would just have been easier to get a fiscal sponsor, fiscal agent to be able to receive and distribute funds for payment to vendors for that event. And I'll let Jessica kind of go over the details on it. And then that is an issue in which we need to vote on if we are actually, as a board, approving, allowing, and okay with doing this.
And I could share a little more, Kathleen. I think,
I was just wanting to repeat the date.
November
Oh,
16th.
okay.
November 16th at the public library downtown.
In November 16th, and really, thank you, Liam, honestly, because I think this is a great opportunity for us to work with the city. They did have extensive meetings with the mayor where the mayor approved and said, I want to work with sister cities. I think he saw our capacity at the US-Mexico Mayor Summit. And really just going back to our bylaws, we work with the IAB. We're part of the city. We work with the city. Sister Cities is here to work with the city. I know this is important to Mayor Gloria. He wants to work with us to strengthen our sister cities. I see it as an amazing opportunity actually to show our value. And really we are the nonprofit arm for the city, right? There's certain things that Mayor Gloria can't ask for funds for, or that's where Sister Cities comes in and we can be the nonprofit arm. That happened also with Ukraine when they wanted to do humanitarian work. They asked us to be the fiscal sponsor because they can't necessarily take funds, but they still want to help Ukraine. So really I see, our organization is the nonprofit arm for the city to handle international affairs and international relations. So I'm thankful that our relationship is strengthening. I think this is another opportunity. Since we did the US-Mexico Mayor Summit, our relationship with the city is stronger. We're getting more work done by working with the city. We're working with the city council. Nora Vargas's office gave us a proclamation. She's working with us. So I think it gives us more exposure in the work we're doing. So that's my point of view. We would ultimately, as DM said, we would be the fiscal sponsor. So we would take all donation checks. We would receive all the funds. It's only, what is it, $3,500?
$3,500 for the catering, which is already covered with funds that were promised to the IAB from CBX, from the Port of San Diego, and from one other organization.
They already have the funds. So as soon as we approve, we send the invoice. Joel is on the IAB and he works with the Port Authority, Joel Venezuela.
Well, it's not a day, as long as it's not a day.
No. So, yeah, Joel, yes, Venezuela, he's great. They received a contribution on behalf of the Port of San Diego. CBX is also already, saying they're going to allocate, I think, $2,500. So they really already have the funds. They just need us to approve to receive the funds. And to be honest, it's just for catering from Javier, who was at my home. I don't know, some of you guys were at the event we had at my home at the US-Mexico Summit. So he's a dear friend of ours. We can negotiate as needed based on the funds that come in. It seems to me like there's not a lot of risk involved, because the funds are already there. And I think
that my concern is only as long as we can keep our bookkeeping, or
Yeah.
we are going to find out what.
I think we'll only spend what we receive, right? Because it's only food and hors d'oeuvres.
Or whatever, or eventually get a little profit or anything. Just need it.
Yeah, we talked about getting admin fees like 5% or something to cover, whatever funds come in. I think, to be honest, whatever funds come in, it will be SanDISCA's funds. We will talk to our treasurer. Well, actually, we'll introduce her. She's actually. But essentially, I don't know if you guys have any other questions, because I know. we don't have a lot of time.
I do know, I have a question.
Okay.
DM, my concern as the interim treasurer for SanDISCA, what is the liability? This is something doesn't go right, a check bounce, it comes back. Who are we going to for that money? Back to the city? Who is going to cover that? Because SanDISCA doesn't have any money to cover.
No, there we go. The chair of IB said that they.
Okay,
So
but we
before
need
we even
something
jump
in
into
writing.
that, in fact, before
We
we
need
even
something
jump
in
into
writing.
that, there's gotta be.
Good, then I don't think so. They can. Yeah, then we're good to go. We're victorious. We can.
Funds raised for our student exchange. And it didn't turn out to be a problem at all. It worked really well, but we were really careful. Two of us were looking every day that we were taking in funds to make sure they were properly put in the proper place. And that they were not alcohol funds, they were the student exchange funds. So that-
And we'll separate those funds.
And the experience I've had now with SanDISCA, to know that the treasurer's position was unattended. It was.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, actually, that blank space is exactly what I mean. That's no longer the case. And I think that we now have eyes on the money on a regular basis, what's coming in and what's going out.
Absolutely.
That everyone here in the board can feel comfortable of what the situation is. Right? So I feel comfortable.
So maybe we can get some help with the truth.
Well, that's exactly right.
Yeah, it's a lot of accounting, thankfully. Victoria's our- She can say hi now, she's here. She's our treasurer. So, and also, like we said, we have Dennis Michael on the board. Sharazad is on the board of IAB. They'll be in all these meetings. And Miri, also, for the president for Shana Give, is also on the board. So we have, members there as well. But regarding risk, because I think it all goes down to what risk are we taking? Basically, we're only covering the food and the drinks because according to the mayor's office, they have the library for free. They signed over. So there is no expenses over there. So it's really just food and catering. And Dennis Michael knows him. He's handling that contract. So I think we just decide on the food and beverages based on what income comes in, and we'll make sure that everything's covered. The checks are cleared before the day of the event. I know you want the checks cleared. So I don't think there's a lot of risk. I think the value and the opportunity is way greater. To work with the mayor and work with the city, I think this is valuable. So that's my opinion.
Also, there are opportunities, please jump in if I'm wrong on this. There are opportunities where SanDISCA and Jessica can further fundraise for those events that will be SanDISCA's money. So SanDISCA went and got additional sponsorships. Am I right on this? If she got additional sponsorships for this event, in addition to what the IAB is promising, that is now SanDISCA's funds, though they were promised for that event. their payment to SanDISCA?
We have the opportunity to go to corporate sponsors like Sempora, the Padres, people have helped us before. Now, when we have our logo, we can ask for support. So it's also, working with our corporate sponsor.
It's not just this event, it's any event that comes in the future.
So if you want to make a motion, anybody?
Motion, right, a second.
Well, since I wrote it down, I'll write it. I'd like to make a motion to be the fiscal, for SanDISCA to be the fiscal agent for the IAB forum on November 16th, with clearly separating out our liability and clear accounting of our bank account for that event.
And do we have a second?
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor say aye, raise your hand. All
Thank
those,
you.
all those opposed? Very nice. Have the record say, let the record be clear that I am not going to take financial risk.
Yes, we'll make sure to have a monthly report on that. And then anyone who wants to join the planning committee to make sure it's best, invite everybody. We want this to be a successful event. So we'd love if you want to be on the planning committee as well.
Can we get a flyer or something about this, which we may
Yeah.
do just for a week, 2 hours?
We'll make sure you have it by next week. It's going out next week.
It couldn't have been finalized until you guys
No, that's fine.
approved it. So now that it's approved here, I can report to the IAB, and then they can distribute this publicly.
Is there a reason that IAB cannot be a nonprofit? I would like to do that, just real briefly.
Legal.
It's legal. They're not a nonprofit. They're an advisory board. The way I see it, to be honest, Penelope, like the IAB is an advisory board to the mayor to advise them, and we're implementation. We're on the ground actually getting the work done and, I wrote sticky
None
all
of
the
those,
work.
no board of commission in the city of San Diego can take any money at all. They're not allowed, they're not legally.
It's a conflict of interest.
None of them are
They're supposed to
incorporated.
serve the city.
None of them are incorporated in any way.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
It
They
also
just make
shows our value.
recommendation, they just make recommendation to the mayor on international affairs.
Okay.
Beautiful.
I got their sponsoring in the
Moving on, we're gonna go over a couple of governance items.
That was a fun part. Now. Picking up for this. Oh, yeah.
Wait.
Oh, there was some more.
Okay, this one's for you. Anyways, you can see it.
So I'm going to speak to SanDISCA as a whole. The governance committee has prepared a comprehensive success checklist through the work of interns and designed to guide you towards growth, community engagement, and effective governance. Each item on the list is curated to help your society flourish and to make a lasting impact and a positive difference for the city of San Diego and your partnership city. So right here, right now, this is the bylaw requirements to maintain a good standing. It's important for us to ensure that these requirements are met. And then as you can read here, the annual apportionments dues, the pay requirement annual dues is due every year in June. It's a really important, I'm speaking to you, where's the camera? All those listening, it is critically important that everyone attend the board meetings. That is part of this, as Jan was saying, part of this is community, and the community of the chairs. It's important for us, and I'm speaking to you guys are here, but it's important that we do that on a regular basis. And it's also important to submit an annual report every year in June, providing relevant information on the organization's activities, finances, and their governance, which also allows us to share when it comes to if there were to be a newsletter. That's where that information would come from. And the other one is going to be maintain memberships and officers. So maintain a minimum of 5 dues-paying members throughout the calendar year. Appoint officers, including the president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer, and submit those names annually to SanDISCA so that we know that you're in compliance. That way, we know everyone is on the same page, on the same plane as we all want forward. So I think it's an easy one to get. The next one is how do we help?
We also have a success checklist. Can go over.
I guess we have a slide for that.
Yeah, we have the checklist just for success, which I was gonna do at the closing, but we can go over it. I think also, I'm grateful for our friendship cities also who joined, so forgive us. I know we're giving you a lot of information. But there's also a couple just ideas. One is to have at least one event or program a year, to have a community partnership, to get one community partnership, one board meeting a year. And then if you could report those minutes, and then connect with your corresponding city, with their office, with their city, try to set up at least one meeting so that, and I'm sure, we also can connect with the city as well. And the International Affairs Office also can attend. So it's also great to have one meeting and make sure you're connecting with your city. And then also connect with a city council member. Like that's also important for funding and getting grants, to reach out to your city council members so they know about the work that you're doing. So those are just.
Also, the county of San Diego has money for kinds of projects. And to my knowledge, Sister Cities has never approached the county of San Diego.
Yeah, believe I'm right there. I've been working on a grant with them for several months. We've submitted probably 5 grants.
Oh, good.
So we're just waiting to hear back. Pardon me? That one I haven't finished. To be honest, these grants are taking a lot of hours. So the one that you guys requested, we haven't even gotten to yet because we had like 5 years is on the next on that list. So again, we're operating with no staff, all volunteer hours. So I'm sorry, if you can help me get interns to do the grants would be great. I'm happy to, walk over them, but we've done 5, and yours is the next on the list for the festival that you submitted.
And to speak to the student volunteers, that's a skill set that students really are useful is in grant writing. It requires a lot of skills that we do teach in high school, but it actually gives it a purpose. And then instead of just doing a research paper with focus with the idea of a grade, this actually requires research. It requires a finesse of how an economy of words, which requires revision and all those things that we're trying to teach the students. And I think this is a great opportunity. And they get in a sense, the reward in the cases that they actually got this grant. So I think it's very useful for us to tap into our sister schools.
Also, I think you guys can all fill out grants too. All of them are online, and use our 501c3. That's part of being under our umbrella. You're welcome to fill out the grants, apply, and use our 501c3 because we don't have capacity but every society really should try to get a grant writer so you can write grants.
We were going to do that, but then we had to submit it instead of ourselves. We had to submit it to you.
SanDISCA.
Well, you can use our 501c3. We can discuss that process.
I wish we had come.
No, it has to be under SanDISCA. You have to
They
enter your name.
didn't have anyone on the board to assist, but if you have someone on the board,
We had 3 people working on
oh,
it.
see, I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
And to have been able for us to put it together and for us to submit it instead of putting it on your plate, which obviously you have already too much there.
No, we would love it. I asked Shamila if she had anybody. She said there wasn't anybody available. So if you have someone, would be great. If you want to.
Let's talk. Let's do this conversation after.
We're going to have a financial, actually, Victoria. Yeah.
So, Southwestern Community College is training people that want to be a grant writer. In partner with myself, I'm the one teaching that at Southwestern. So it is free. If you have a 501c or it's free, but you need to go through the San Diego Workforce Partnership. They will pay the costs for you to attend that class. Class at Southwestern, even pay for transport. If that is a barrier to Southwestern. Just I can tell you more about how to apply. If you are interested in reading how to apply, that's an opportunity.
Okay, so we also have to go over our financials. We know we need money. So after this, we're gonna discuss the fundraising ideas, but I just want to thank Yolanda because she's done amazing work getting us up to par, getting us in par with the IRS and doing all of the filing. getting the accounting and the system set in place and getting records in place. She's done an amazing job. We're so happy for all of her support. This will be her last financial.
It's gonna be wonderful. We're not gonna be what happened in 3 months, able to get the report to that in Panama. So in June, when we go July, we had activity up there. We had donations for first, we had for Porto and Warsaw. We had donations, so I can transfer that money to your account, but I'll talk to you after. And but we have the reports here.
in presentation mode.
Sorry, I sent it to her different with the way she put it all in one.
Oh, no, I know. She can put in.
I can share it with you. I can share it with you, but I sent it to her separate and yeah. Okay.
Well, you can go through it.
Yeah, so every month we usually don't have activity, honestly, but we have the month of starting in June for the news that comes in. I don't know if you can see it because I send it one page at a time and Jessica just, but you see what we have a savings account with the interest, but the main thing is the checking account. Look at the expense. Every month we have that insurance amount coming out of the checking account. We don't have money to cover that certain time. So I want to thank Yokohama, sister city, that has bailed us out so many times, and SanDISCA has to reimburse them. So we have to, start thinking in the meeting of November, we're going to start talking about carrying up the dues because $150 does not cover insurance.
Well, the basic question keep asking, do we really need that insurance? It's so expensive.
Yes, we're gonna go over that. Jessica and I met with Paul Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Thursday, we had a meeting. He went over, and it's very important now. It's going to be up to every representative of their sister city society to decide. We're going to have a special meeting with insurance. To us, it was a basic. We think we can bring it down because the liability, the heavy amount, is the auto insurance. If you were to leave here because you were at this meeting and you caused an accident out there and your insurance only covers so much, they're going to come after SanDISCA because you came to a meeting. So SanDISCA has to be able to kick in and cover that. So that's where the $1,600 comes in. The total yearly premium, we'll go for that. Is $2,400. I rounded up to $2,400. That's a yearly premium. So that $150 does not cover this insurance that comes out every month, plus the other permits and stuff we have to pay. Again, thanks to Yokohama, sister city, who has bailed us out several times. Thank you. We know we owe you. So thank you. We appreciate it. And for those societies that have money, we can always use the help. Just basically where we at. We have a miscellaneous donation that if you look at it, you see some miscellaneous donation. I received a stock of checks, and the day before I had to leave emergency to Panama, I went to the bank and I just deposited all the checks in SanDISCA account. So when I came back from my emergency trip to Panama, I'm going through auditing. Well, I deposited a check that didn't belong to SanDISCA. It belonged to someone from the Superior Court of someone. So I gave them a call and I told them it was an error. They were like, how did the bank permit that? I don't know. I took the checks deposit. They just took it. So we had to reimburse them. So I called them. I wrote the letter. So that reimbursement just went out Monday. So this is it. Going forward, after today, I have a pink bag under the table. I'm turning it over to Victoria Phillips, who is our voted treasurer. So Victoria is going to take it from here. Everything is in compliance. Like Tim said, there was a gap in the treasury. So I brought it all in compliance. We're good with this thing. We can write grants. We have everything going with the Secretary of State. So you're getting it all clean, ready to go. Thank you again.
Not indemnity.
We all thank you. But we were talking about a while ago our friendship cities, and that is a big part of it. They represent us, And we were discussing, in the middle of a discussion about actually having them pay that apportionment as well. So I think.
That's gonna be in the November meeting.
I wanted to make sure that we add that to the November meeting.
I agree. Thank you, Don,
Yeah.
for reminding us. We will need all societies, but to pay our friendship cities and our sister cities. But what I'm thinking is we should set up a separate committee just for insurance. Anyone who wants to see, Remy, if you want to be on the committee. If anyone wants to be on that committee. One, it's best practice to have that insurance. It covers everybody. It covers all your members. You know, it is a best practice. But we could look at a couple other quotes and kind of look at other
I know it's
companies.
not cheap, because I belong to another organization, they just insure for the officers. It's almost the same amount of money for it. So that's-
Well, the 2,400 covers the officers too.
It covers everything,
Everything.
even your members.
The members, everything. But we can always take a second look, and at the other November meeting, we will talk about the Friendship City. Because Dr. Mike will be over COVID and he'll be.
I'll call it in for end of discussion and accept this financial report.
We don't.
As
need
a
to
motion
vote
to
on that. We don't need to vote on.
We don't need to vote on
that.
it, yeah.
No vote.
Some still on it, but I'm.
Well, I know, but it's sort of like the honor of me, like we're saying we're accepting the report.
Well, yeah. So-
We just got to vote.
All those in favor of accepting this financial report, raise your hand, say aye. Opposed? Hearing none.
Thank you. Giving the
This is what we are essentially. I know I shared this slide earlier, but we have these people with us and we're so grateful that our friendship cities are with us today. We have 24 partnerships in 23 countries. Again, we can make a tremendous impact by working collaboratively and working together. We want to hear from all of you today just on what you're planning. Everyone gets 1 minute to kind of share something they want to work on next year. It'll help us learn about what you're working on, how we can work together, how we can support each other, and just to know what's going on. So I don't know. Do you want to start? And introduce yourself, because I know some of you are meeting for the first time.
I know, I recognize a lot of faces. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I'm now the president of the San Diego First City Society, along with Jan. I view it as more of a collaborative approach, even though it seems like but I just like to be the president at large, you know, as a facilitator for everyone. Quickly, we had a meeting last Sunday. Yeah, she was there. Yeah, she was there. Dr. Mike unfortunately couldn't make it. But anyway, so to recap quickly, it was great just to be in person. We had met for quite a while. We're going to try to do quarterly meetings. We'll be meeting again in January. Location and time to be determined, but we will send an update on that. And we were talking about events that we've participated in past years, and the most important that was for collaboration between the Australians and those first was Australia Day, which is always January 26th, which I just researched and found out Australia only made it a holiday since 1994. So it's a rather new thing, which I thought probably would have been decades. Because what it does, it recognizes the first day that the European colonizers arrived by ship, which was January 26, 1786. So recently in Australia this past summer, there's been a lot of controversy regarding Australia Day, and people are saying that is actually should be called Invasion Day or Conqueror Day, or really getting negative connotations, which is great because it's a shift in the Australian society mentality of what that day represents. And so it's in limbo, like what are we going to do for it? And we talked about it, and our Sister City Society voted that we will not be participating in Australia Day this year, 2024, in solidarity with the Indigenous people of Australia, the Aboriginal.
No, you know how it was civil rights actually through Congress, and then suddenly a bunch of they have statues with that for Confederate generals. That's kind of what Australia was like.
A lot of shifts is happening like it, just like our Columbus Day is now Indigenous Day. But the problem is the date. It's not necessarily just the title of the date. It's like that's going to have to shift as well. So we are staying tuned
to follow what happens in Australia. That's probably. Is there Australian defense thing, like when they stop feeding for the Commonwealth community? There is. Sorry, I don't know that, Jade. Okay, I should look it up. Yeah. No, I think that would be yeah, so there's a different day when they.
Basically like Columbus Day, we don't celebrate anymore, it's indigenous.
So it's
I celebrated just in time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
For the sake of brevity, my suggestion is that the presidents give a 1 minute.
oh, that went way over.
Well, that's okay. That's right. But then what will happen is if you do have follow-up questions, then after the meeting, then you can actually bring these questions and have that dialogue.
So just that one super quick thing is that we will be doing Anzac Day celebration on the Midway. That is April 25th, 2024. Stay tuned. Thank you. Sorry, I went over. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. When you kind of representing quite a specific, I'm just the vice president and the president of my job. So, we had a meeting, I think about a month ago, trying to find out how to bring our little society, together again. Because it is a pandemic, we kind of all together and nothing happened. So we're going to try to do, we already sent out a message to try to ask the party member, see if they want to continue on. So the membership is going to be bringing back the brainstorm. We would like to hold a networking one meeting and just. So that's our immediate goal right now.
I do have a student who wants to work with Taichung.
My direction, please. Yes. Yes. Just what it's young way too.
Actually, I'm going to break protocol because I'm actually, I actually belong now to the United Nations Global Cities Program, and that's over 1,500 cities around the world that we connect not only cities, but also connect with all these other cities. There is curriculum, there's a whole series of teachers involved as well. So, but we've already started, we have another opportunity to grow. So I want to make sure everyone knows that. So if you have questions about that, please.
I didn't hear it.
Then we have Rosario, who's the chair of our education committee and has done an amazing job. We signed an MOU with UCSD. We've met with several universities and she's really been helping us get partnerships at university level. So thank you. I don't know if you want to share maybe one thing that you would like to work on for 2024.
How can I sit down? Yes, well, as Jessica says, we have an MOU with UCSD and we're planning some activities with them as part of the program and involving Sister City. We have also been coordinating with the state of Chihuahua with the director of all of the high school. They have around 42,000 students and they're about to, they're getting an MOU ready with the high school, the UCSD, and also the State University in Chihuahua. We're also planning to start coordinating with them for MOUs with some universities here. And well, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Rosario, for the great.
Right, so did you go on?
Yes. So I'm Cheryl. I'm the president and currently sole member of the Friendship City Society. The Friendship City Society for Chicago started because we had an ongoing exchange with San Diego High School. I'm pleased to announce it is ongoing. We are back on for the 2024 exchange. I'm starting to recruit students at San Diego High School. We run that out of my International Student Ambassadors Club at San Diego High, which is currently building some partnerships with all the various cities in here. We have a festive relationship with I have a student who wants me to talk to Taichung, and other students who's looking for Warsaw. Is Warsaw
Yes.
yeah, okay. So that's kind of it. We started on a student initiative basis. They tell me I want to connect with the Sister Society.
I come here and I find you.
So you, which one, the sister?
Friendship City.
Friendship, which one?
Yeah, Vital of the Drow in Austria.
Austria. Oh, okay.
Not Australia, no kangaroos.
Okay.
There's a lot of merchandise in Austria of no kangaroos in Austria.
Beautiful. We also have Stephen Takel. We're so happy that you're here. He just came back from Ireland. I also, we shared with you also the anti-bullying campaign, Motivated to Act. He's also the president of that and the founder of that amazing initiative for anti-bullying that we've been happy that a lot of our sister cities have participated in. So if you want to come dance, it's going to be fun. But we're really grateful to have you, and thank you for going on the Ireland trip.
Absolutely. So Dr. Michael McQuarrie inspired me to go to Ireland. I actually have a dual citizenship with Ireland, so it was nice for me to go back. I was hoping to visit family members, but I didn't have a chance to. It was a whirlwind of a trip. My luggage didn't show up. It's a long story, but it was a very successful journey. We were able to meet with some very influential people. We actually met with the mayor of Derry, or Londonderry, depending on your affiliation. And we were able to meet with her, and she loved what we were doing with Rotary Club, with Sister Cities, with all of the different connections, with the anti-bullying program as well. In fact, I appreciate you mentioning that we had our kickoff party for the dance-a-thon, and I know Kathleen was there, and we had actually had speakers. We had Jessica, we had Timothy, and we also had Dr. Michael McQuarrie. Now, if you ever want to watch Timothy dance, if you go and hit on this QR code, it'll take you to the registration for our event on the 14th, and there's a little video there, and you can see all of them did presentations, and you can see Timothy speeding it up on the dance floor. Very nice. But anyway, back to Ireland. So we had a great time. We met with Northwest Regional College. They were thrilled with what we were doing as well. They want to partner with us in San Diego because they know that there are businesses here in San Diego that are very interested. A lot of them have come from Ireland themselves and set up shop here. And so they want to do that, a lot of interaction. And anyway, I was thrilled to be part of Sister Cities and to go out on this adventure and to meet with these fine people. We also met with the Chamber of Commerce. They were thrilled with what we're doing. They think that they've got businesses that want to sponsor additional things that we want to do for them. So anyway, I just want to say we raised at our kickoff party that we had, we did raise $300, Jessica. We did raise $300 for Sister Cities. So we're going to go ahead and arrange a time where we can bring one of those oversized checks in and give it to you guys. So, it's give and take. We appreciate Kathleen and her husband came. They made a donation and they have sponsored, because of people like you, we have 75 children that we were able to sponsor to come to our dance-a-thon on October 14th. So I implore you, anti-Semitism is alive, unfortunately. There's a lot of discrimination going on, and a huge part of what we're doing with Sister Cities, what we're doing with Rotary, what we're doing with Motivated to Act, which is the company the nonprofit I started, what we're doing is we're trying to help educate children to appreciate the fact that there are so many different cultures. We have Israeli dancers that are coming to our event on the 14th. We have traditional Chinese dancers. These are people that are being discriminated against every day just because they're Chinese, just because their parents and grandparents are Jewish. And we have traditional Irish dancers who are doing a 20-minute show at our event. We have traditional Polish dancers. So please, if you can, it's $10 to come for the whole day. You do not have to dance if you don't want to, but the dance floor will be open for you to join us as well. So thank you so much for the answer.
Yanis, would you like to share a little bit about what you're thinking about that?
The change send students to Poland again for the program. Because of COVID at the break now, the bureaucracy is slowly moving at San Diego State, and we will have to do it in 24 for the first time again. So that's one thing. But the main focus that we had was actually to help all this humanitarian effort in Poland, and to work on both sides very much in concert. I spent some time in Poland, quite much more time than normally, because I teach, my teaching semester is now fall. So during the spring I was there, and I could see firsthand, how this help the refugees from the Ukraine was taking place, how much involvement that was, and how much we saw even in our direct circles, family circles and friends, everybody did something significant, really, whatever they could. So, and that movie that I just mentioned that is created right now, as a result of that, it's all documented and will be sent to some festivals. It's really very nicely and very kind of a very moving movie, actually. When I was looking at that, and the reports, what we heard from those who were helped, I mean, you can almost not, almost start crying, because I mean, what they say, it was sometimes so dramatic. The conditions when they arrived, and they open hearts, open homes, everything was there for them. So it's wonderful that that kind of story is documented. And I was honored, to have that song, that my own song is part of that movie at the end, and underlying this importance of freedom, that searching for freedom is a right.
Thank you for the tea and the samosa you brought as well. There's still some of you want to try. Yeah, thank you. We have a couple of students that we teach in young girls in Delaware every Friday night. We talk with them. One of the things that I want to see in all of our different times, taking the student who's taking with young girls and talking about raising to now. And then one of the things that we did was in July, where there always be and some other United partners. Had almost 1,800 people out. And it's very positive and good, making positive. Thank you.
I think I've already said most of our things. We had our fundraiser, which was extraordinarily successful, thanks to students who were really good. And this spring, we will have the Cervantes Festival. It might take a different form this year than in years past. And I hope to work with San Diego High School for an exchange of students for 24-25.
Next, part of the conversation is developing a delegation, either from Marseille to San Diego, well, actually, ideally both. So the next part of the conversation with me and the mayor's office in Marseille is discussing who would that involve, what departments from either city would be a part of that, and when would that be? So, of course, everyone in SanDISCA is invited to be a part of that conversation, or even when it does happen, when it does materialize, to be a part of that trip, either welcoming the French delegation or being a part of the delegation that goes to Marseille. That and just cultural stuff that I'll be doing with the House of France.
Thank you. And we have John Jason for
With no writing that. So I took over campaign last year, and we have a great relationship with the city of San Paulo and campaigners, where they are focused really on business. They don't really care about arts and culture. They don't really care about moving forward with a lot of those type of areas. They really want to make an impact. So we're trying to find industries in technology, biotech, and other industries where and we created this Sister City Society in 1995. That was the whole purpose of it. We created that because of those industries that we share in common. As you know, we have a big biotech industry in San Diego, and we also have a binational. They do a lot of binational biotech in Mexico and Tijuana as well. So we are trying to get back to our roots. We're trying to find new people. We're trying to get those new members. We're trying to raise money. There's a lot of interest in stuff now because of all of the dress and what is it, fashion and the other things that we have that are really at the top of their height right now. But I'm working with all those industries down there, and I made connections with the airport authority, their chambers of commerce, their tourism authority. So it's really good for us to go through best practices with them. So thank you.
Thank you, Doc. What happened? We kind of live and then by taking over what like 1 year, so a lot of development. Yes, been about a year, yeah, 1 year. Stephen, I know you're wearing a lot of hats in your building, but we want to hear about Yokohama.
Quickly, I'm trying to keep it sweet. November, we have a delegation coming in for it's a cutting-edge project, so we have students from college, students from affairs. We also going to be the monthly partnership between Howard High School, actually high school. We're celebrating their 60th anniversary of the UNESCO associated school. So that'll be the big announcement there for the students of Yokohama. We are going to be working with Jessica and connecting with the firm, the selling. And the VR type portion of it's going to be playing a huge part of the interactions between the two schools. We have a delegation from Yokohama, official delegation coming in March of next year. It's our 40-person delegation. Yeah, we've been doing events every weekend.
We've done a lot of events, and again, I want to thank San Diego-Yokohama because we've done like 3 events because of you this year. We did Vanguard Culture. We have San Diego Fashion Week actually tonight. One of the things that was really good also is the VR. We started a VR program that's been amazing. That's a virtual reality, and it has the virtual reality of all of our sister cities. So students and our community who can't travel, they can travel via virtual reality. So we're so thankful that you launched that program. It's been successful. Every school we go to, there's a line down the hall. Like everybody wants to get in the VR experience of sister cities. So it's been amazing to use technology. And it was started by a student. So I just want to, we were with the Council General yesterday, Sone and the Council General of Kenya, and also Ambassador Nina Achigan also was there. So it's been amazing to show how sister cities can use technology to connect around the world. So also just had a we had 6 students from been amazing. Well, the pandemic really hit hard, but it's been amazing what some of our societies have done, connecting through technology and now how it's grown. And we have students say, I've never been to Yokohama, but Yokohama has changed my life forever because they've been able to connect through online and connect with the students. I guess I can share a little bit also about Amboseli because it kind of moves also into technology. We have a friendship city with the Maasai in Amboseli, Kenya. Which we're truly excited about. We had about a delegation of 21 attend high school students from Timothy Stuyven, where thank you so much for your leadership and preparing the students. Aaron Combs, of course, our youth ambassador, came from that program and done amazing work. Our students went there and brought technology tools to connect with the Maasai. Actually, Aaron and his family brought 20 computers for the Maasai. So you're taking an indigenous village that doesn't have any technology or electricity, now can connect with our youth in San Diego. The program was recognized by all the way at the White House. Joe Biden wrote a thank you letter to them acknowledging their service, and Mayor Gloria also recognized their work. And now we're getting ready in 2024, which we're super excited about. We probably will have about 40. We're hoping for about 40 students that'll be traveling with the Maasai. And then excited about the opportunity also to connect Kenya and Japan, and how do we come together to work together on collaborative projects.
And San Diego and San Diego has the same spring break to
Wow, the ones in our lives.
Exactly. I know. So that changes everything.
Our years feature calendar.
First week of
Also, we were able to, Timothy and I and Aaron, we went to the United Nations to present that work. And Aaron, we want to give you a couple minutes to speak as well before we close, if you want to share some stuff, or I don't know if you want to go now or if you want to just up to you guys.
Yeah, I can speak over the phone. Hi everyone, I'm Aaron, a youth ambassador. This is my third year now with the city. I think I'm almost 1 year since I've been. It's been a really great ride. I can't believe. But some things, we've gotten. I traveled to Kenya, and there I conducted my own research practice with other students. Yeah, actually, based on the research we did, we developed a new kind of approach to conservation called the Indigenous Conservation Paradigm, which considered indigenous groups as part of the ecosystem rather than separate. And I think I was honored for my the Yale Race and Esteem department for my work there. And just actually on Wednesday, I got a full-ride scholarship to University of choosing. I sent them in my research, and they were really Google and the foundation. So that was really cool. And I'm really excited about that. I get to attend the residence summit next summer, so definitely we'll be bringing the city knowledge, the city kind of discussion to that table. I have access to direct grants now, so I'm excited to have to apply as I just honestly look forward to just the rest of the year really engaging and as they go on to college. Thank you.
Thank you. That's our inspiration of Sister City, right? To invest in our youth and their future. Also, we've been able to connect the indigenous. Like this is the first indigenous partnership with an indigenous in Kenya and Kenya here. We've had Stan Rodriguez, who's been amazing. He's been at our events. He's been at the U.S.-Mexico Mayor Summit and Vanguard. So we've really been able to connect our indigenous cultures. And also, Aaron had the chance to present at the U.S.-Mexico Mayor Summit, which was amazing. I think after that, you even had an internship at NASA, and you've done just amazing work through our program. So we're so honored, and this is why we're here, right, to raise the next generation. So we're so honored to have you. And then I know we have a good opportunity to support Panama. You want to share with Panama Society as well? It'd be great.
Panama Society work and joint demonstrations and activities of Panama, Walmart, HBR. Before COVID, we were able to take the students from Daniel Academy, which is a high school that connects with Panama. We were able to make connections with Panama. Has 4 indigenous tribes that is recognized and 1 African tribe that is recognized. These 4 indigenous tribes and the African tribe, they have, Panama has given them govern their own tribe, their own city, their own community. So we were able to connect with Nayala, and we brought one of the young ladies from that indigenous tribe here. That happened before COVID. We were going strong until COVID happened. Then we came to a standstill. So now we had a new government that, because of everything with COVID, we can connect with this new government. They're very close with the General Counsel, Hilda Garcia in Los Angeles. And so going forward, we have new election in Panama. By June of next year, we would have a new president. So hopefully they will be ready and willing to work with Sister City, which they all show. They all keep saying yes, so we will go with that. By July, Tim and I will be traveling to Panama to meet the new government, the new governor, and everything going forward. Now, because we have to take the students in Panama, that costs a lot of money. So the House of Panama right now is doing a fundraiser, which is a raffle through Panama Airline Copa. Copa gave us 2 tickets. And that is our first prize. We have second prize and third prize, but the main prize is Copa Airline.
How much?
The tickets are $40 for one, $75 for two, and $100 for three. 2 tickets. So you know, once you win the first prize, you get 2 plane tickets. That would help us. It helps the House of Panama, and it helps the sister city that when it's time to take the big group to Panama, Copa Airline will give the kids a student discount. And we'll be able to move that way. We kind of work in conjunction because it helps us with fundraising, it helps us with HPR, it helps the society. We are starting up January again with our membership. We have at the Florida, Tim and I basically and couple with having the society because of COVID. But the city, like I said, the council knows about it. It's very helpful. So going forward, January of 2024, we'll be starting up. We have to start strong because 2025 will be Balboa Park 110 years, will be Panama Society 10 years. So we're running 10 years with 110 years, and their office is already saying, what are you going to do? So I have to connect with the Balboa Society, see what we can do. Panama is willing because we work independently from the government. They're willing to help us put out a good program at the Arden Pavilion, which Javier promised me from this city that he can get that for free. That would, I would bring in the entire SanDISCA team and get that done, and that would be participation to celebrate Balboa Park 110 years, Panama Sister City Society 10 years. So we have for 2025, and so we're going forward. 2024 is going to be big, great, and pushing for our society because we're going to be recognized. Los Angeles have a parade. It's the biggest Latin parade, and Panama was chosen to be the country that is going to be on. So we have that. We have to get the school band. We have. I'm already sending out to New York, everywhere. Be notified that San Diego, LA is that parade is recognized in Panama. It's going to get the honor. So we're already expecting people to come from Panama, so we'll be inviting all of you to come participate. It's a 4-mile parade, but it's huge. It's longer than Rock Parade because you have all the Latin countries plus the Caribbean. So September of next year.
So if you want tickets to Panama,
If you want tickets to Panama, please help us. I have tickets here.
But you don't have the option.
So I was planning the option era, but now it's even.
thank you, Yolanda, for your. And that's just another creative way of fundraising. And now we have a couple minutes. We're really grateful that Victoria is now our new treasurer. She's also a nonprofit consultant. As you can see, our societies are doing a lot of work, a lot of amazing work for the city, and it's very important, the work that we're doing. So Victoria, we'd like you to come up, and we're so thankful that you can share some ideas. All of our ideas take fundraising, right? So it's hard to do programs without fundraising. So we're very grateful. Victoria is here, and she prepared some best practices and tips for us on, how do we fund these amazing ideas and programs? The more funds we have, the more impact we can make. So thank you for taking time and to help our sister cities elevate it so we can do more. So thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon again, everyone. I won't take your time, or I want you to know that it's very important. This is like the most important time for all nonprofits. And I'm going to be talking about end of the year giving, how you can get some success, especially at this end of the year. Okay, so most of the giving happens now. From last month, September, smart nonprofits have been gearing up towards end of the year because corporations are closing their books. There's still some dollars that they want to go take out because of tax next year. So they still have some funding, and people that are working currently, they get double, they get some bonus at the end of the year bonus. So that is why this time is very crucial for us that have a nonprofit to take opportunities of this time. So December, from October to December, is a very crucial time to get at least 40% of what you've not been able to get from January till now. So here is some of the things that you can do, and based on best practices, what has been working. And like I said, a quarter of all in 2021, online revenue, people get a lot of online income, a lot of donation from online, they get that. And most of the time also direct mailing also work at this time. It's very popular marketing. If you have mailing address of folks that you want to send an appeal to, or a fundraising appeal, this is a very good time to do that. And also based on best practices, most nonprofits begin as early as September, planning, strategizing. How can we make best use of this time? I can send this slide to you if you want. So what do? Start planning early. It's not too late to start planning. I'm so sorry about my presentation. I did it. Perfect. So what do you need to do? You need to start planning right now. Your plan might be as little as, but if you get into the habit of doing it right now, it's repeat and rinse every year. So that is just the best part of end of the year. If you get into the habit, people get to know, I have to write a check to so and so. They get used to it. So that is the process. If you start planning now, if people get used to it, they start thinking about you when it comes to the end of the year. You start getting used to it. Your volunteers are having activities that they always repeat and rinse every single year. And also, this is the past results. I'll skip that. What do? Case for support is very important. You need to create a letter, or why do you want people to give to you? You have a program that is very important. People need to know about it. You need to craft that into a case for support. The reason why I need to give, the reason why people need to give. So that is important, that you have a case for support, part society. You need the first letter you need to have is a case for support. Because people want to know, why am I giving to, people don't understand, but when you have a case for support, it should articulate the reason why your society is very important and why you need the money. So when you have one, is what you can always use. So one, you need a case of support that will define the problem and also the solution that you're trying to solve. The next one is branding. You have to pay attention to the brand, appealing brand like your logo. You need to have a logo, you need to have a tagline. All this is important. The colors that maybe that represent the society or the country, something that people can resonate with. That is also important to focus on. Then segment donor. Now we know if you want to get into the younger generation, it's good to go on the social media, Facebook, TikTok, people are even using that. But there are some donors that you can get on text. I raised a point the other time that building a list is important. Some people prefer you to text them, and some people prefer you to make a call. Some prefer you to send an email to them. All these are crucial. All these are important. If you know the means of communication, then you can know how to reach people, because they told you the best way to communicate with them. So if I'm you and I have a society and I have friends, this is the way I can start building my list. This is email going to this person, start collecting emails. Text messages goes to this also for end of the year, so that you know what to send out as you move into the end of the year. So also creating an outreach, creating an outreach, calendar is very important, because people get busy at the end of the year. They're planning holiday, they're planning get together. And when you send one email or one text message, don't think they see it. You know, timing your communication, your timeline. Okay, 2 text messages in a year, in a week, or 1 SMS, or 1. Those are very important to have a timeline to communicate. And also, if you have a website, it's good to optimize it. Look at, is it fast enough? Can people reach it on time? Your donation page shouldn't be long. Should just be crucial to the point. The name, the email, good information that you need for me to make a donation. If your page is as long as these people don't want to spend hours going through the email, through filling a form because they want to donate $10 or $100 or whatever amount. So you need to make it as short as possible so that people can get to the finishing end. And also showing gratitude. People have donated before, show gratitude, call, say thank you, text, say thank you. It's important when you say that, tell them what the money has done. We host an event, you came, thank you for coming this year. They appreciate that. Send a thank you letter, send a follow-up on them, on what you've done. Then analyze your results, your sources, what has worked this year. So that will give you, especially for your event, what works during this event. Debriefing is important for every single event, you know, so that you know which event is successful. Let's debrief, let's know what works, what makes people to come out for this event. Why do we have so much donation, or why do we have no donation? By the time you do this debriefing, it helps for the next event. It helps you gear up and even prepare to do better for other events or other fundraising. And additional resources, Giving Tuesday is coming. This is the best place to start. Giving Tuesday happens every single year. Most corporations are looking forward to this event. They want to give. It happens online. This year, Giving Tuesday is November 23rd, November 28th, sorry. I've given the website. It is free. Everything you get on this website is free. Toolkit that you can use. If you don't do anything, please do Giving Tuesday. It's important. People are giving, people knows about it. It happened all over the world. This is important. San Diego have one, San Diego Give. If you don't know about that, that happened 2 weeks ago. This is another opportunity. And I know a lot of corporations that are just going to the website of people that are registered and they're just giving donation. Corporation will go to Giving Tuesday to donate. They have a website. Register your organization on Giving Tuesday. Register because a lot of promotion are going on Giving Tuesday. They have resources. That if Jessica can send that will be helpful so that you can have the resources. It's free, it's international, it's worldwide. We have everything you need to promote, everything you need on social media. You just copy and paste, put your organization, your email, your whatever, send out. That does not need much work. Everything is already done at Giving Tuesday. So that is a very good way to that end of the year campaign in case you don't know how to get started. And I'm available for questions. I don't want to waste much time. I hope that helps.
Thank you so much. We're so honored that you know our treasurer, and hopefully those tips were helpful. We're going to do more of these workshops to give best practices and tips. We want to strengthen all of our societies. And so we really just want to thank you for coming out on a Saturday. Again, there's so much impact that we can make, that you are making, right? You guys are donating and volunteering countless hours. So I just want to thank our entire board and for all of you for the amazing work that you're doing to create peace. Also want to thank our executive board and all of our members and congratulate. I'm very happy that they're going to serve another term. Tim and I worked countless hours with Yolanda and our other board members to really try to strengthen our societies. I wanted to give a report, but we don't have time. But in short, we've developed over 16 partnerships working with cultural institutions, our universities. We're working with the school districts. We've had over 15 events, actually. We're working with the mayor's office. We meet with the mayor's office every single month to develop and to share the great work that you're doing. So really, this wouldn't happen without an amazing board. So I just want to thank everyone. Thank all of you for your time. And I just, Cynthia, if you want to close as the chair, we're just thankful you're here.
I just want to end on, we are at a turning point. The energy we have from the Friendship Cities and the energy that we have in this room really does, for me, just tells me that 2024, 2025 will be a renaissance. In a sense, we call COVID the dark ages. This is now the new age and time for us to not just talk about it, but actually see it happen. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, great day. Take care and we adjourn.
All right. I mean, how the people's gonna go up. Oh, yes, it has. Since you get ready, Dr. Bye.